From the mid-1800s, Eumundi became part of 3 cattle runs of the region, and the first roads were built in the 1860s. With roads and rail connecting the town to surrounding areas, industries such as timber farming, banana farming and dairying emerged. Eumundi's name evolved out of the name given to an indigenous Kabi warrior who lived in the area in the 1830s. Now, I don't know how to pronounce these names, so I'm just going to put up the words. I found this really cool tunnel. I'll show you. I like this one. In the early 1900s, the main street was built, and soon after came 2 hotels, a butter factory, 2 banks, a blacksmith and several other storekeepers. He's a cutie. How old is he? Oh wow, a little pup. The Eumundi markets, though, started small and scrappy. Nothing like the tourist attraction it is today. The markets began in 1979 at the local CWA hall with just 3 stalls and $30 worth of sales. The idea came from local creators who wanted a local European-style artisan and farmers market. My $20 Kmart bag has seen better days. I think it's time for a new one. Eumundi markets have grown into one of Australia's biggest artisan markets, now featuring over 600 stalls and attracting more than 1 to 1.6 million visitors per year. The goal was to create income for local farmers, artisans and makers. It would also bring life and people to the small hinterland town. Eumundi had a strong rule with these markets: make it, bake it, sew it or grow it. I like that. It's a very popular market. Those markets were really busy. I've chosen to get a coffee and find a quiet place to sit. And it's away from all the popularity of the Eumundi markets. There's nowhere to sit for a coffee though. That's a decent sized bamboo plant. Here is the old Eumundi butter factory right there. That looks like it's the front entrance. Gosh, it is quite overgrown. Now this is an abandoned site now, and I'm not sure if I can even get in here. There's a gap in the fence here, and I wonder if I might just be brave enough to go in and have a look. Oh, got myself caught. And I haven't got clothes and shoes on today, so I hope there's no frigging snakes. Hello? Ouch. Wow. It's quite cool in here. Echoes of past. Now I do need to be careful because I'll... Hello? Oh. Hi, you gave me a fright.
Yo. You've seen one many.
So cool. Wow.
It's been that long since I've been here, bro. I don't know.
So overgrown. Wow. Those guys are here to add to the artwork scene. Jeez. It's close. closed off for a reason, right? Don't fall for the floorboards. Maybe I shouldn't go in here actually. Oh well. What's the worst that can happen? I'll fall to the floor. I hope there's no long slithery things or black fluttery things up there. I believe there's a bit of asbestos around here, so I'm not going to hang around. There's another building over there behind me. I'm not sure if I can get to it, but I'm going to give it a go, but I have to come back the way that I came. A bit about this place though. The butter factory here was built during the dairying era when the area was quite agricultural. The butter factory here was very much a part of the economic backbone, with farmers from the surrounding areas bringing their butter and cream to the factory for production or processing. Now how can I get through there? Oh, here's a path here. Oh wow. Can't even get in there. Ouch. Apparently this butter factory behind me was built in 1907, although some records show and say it was 1920. Excuse me. Excuse me. Sadly though, some idiot deliberately set a fire to the butter factory in 2004, and they deliberately burnt down the 98-year-old part of the structure. There's always somebody, isn't there? There are a few young guys here to add to the art, as I said before, and I don't know how they got there. But somehow they got into the other part of the building. I wish I could find it. Damn it. Oh, there's a path there. Oh, shit. That's that moving garage door making a noise. Jeepers, there's a few vines here that would trip you up. I think this is called urbexing. We're probably not supposed to be doing this. Oh, here's a decent entranceway.
There he is.
Let's give this a go.
This is the spot we were at. Yeah, I know, we're going past it really time. Yeah. What? Oh, nice. That's the one.
I never expected to see anybody else here today. Oops. Ooh. Checking out another old abandoned structure, even though I couldn't really get around it very well. It's very colourful and vibrant, and quite honestly, I needed a distraction today. Life with Cheryl Gray. I had my own example of real life this week. Do you remember the video I did on my Danish connection just a few weeks ago? I received the shock news that my friend had suddenly passed away this week. You know what? We need goals and we need to look forward to see where we're going. We need to plan for the future and even sometimes have money in the bank to do things in the future. Sadly though, you don't know when that's going to change overnight. So I guess my message today is live for the now, plan for the future, look to the future, but live in the now, live for the now, because you never know when that will change. The cool thing is though, I'm going to go to Denmark for a trip in probably a couple of months. It's amazing how friendships form and how they can start. And Lena, for me, way back in the day before internet and online information, opened a whole new world for me. A culture, a tradition and a language. And that had its special connection for over 45 years. I just gave away my age then. Grab the moment, live in the now, live like life's not done yet. Thank you so much for watching this video. I do hope you enjoyed it. Please remember to like and subscribe, and I'll see you in the next one.